Hey everybody, it's Jason, Zombie Collector, and it says I'm live. So there you go, as it is right here. I feel like I'm filming this from my bunker, my panic room. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. It has that vibe of I feel like I'm in my panic room with dark surroundings. Um, obviously it's very blurry. But that's probably more to keep you off from being able to see my uh, very freakish looking face. So I thought I'd pop on for a bit for uno momento, por favor, and hang out with everybody for a few moments. I was watching Jack Ryan. Hey, what up, homie? Donnie in the house and the hizzy. I was watching season 2 of Jack Ryan. I'm enjoying it tremendously. I'm on like episode 5 or 6. Let me get my glasses back on so I can see. I'm on episode 6, and I'm enjoying it. It's really a good television show. So yeah, how you been doing, Donnie? If you're even still here, you might have left and joined the circus. But yeah, so I'm enjoying that show, and I'm looking forward to the weekend. I don't know about how you all. I don't know how about you guys. You guys, yins guys. If you're looking forward to the weekend or not, but I know I am. The weekend is upon us. So that's been good. Um, but yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Are you back to work, Donnie? Is everything, are you back to your normal pre-Rona days? Or are you still having to have a truncated schedule? Oh, yeah, it's back to normal. Yeah, that's right. Man, I was outside just for a few minutes today and or this evening. I got all chewed up by the skeeters, by those skeeters. They were out in rare form. I'm just so sweet. They wanted to take a little sippity sip, little sippy sip. So now my legs got chewed up. So, what is the topic for tonight? I'm wondering what can we talk about today? What is the topic for today? I'm thinking. I feel like there's a lot of things to talk about. There's so many stones that can be overturned or turned over, but which stone do we want to grab and turn over? And if you grab a stone, are you the first one to cast the stone? So that's a deep thought. That's some deep theological discussion that can go on. Who will be the one who casts the first stone? That has so many different implications. So it's very important. My son's getting ready to start baseball Saturday. I'm super pumped. Indiana, we're pretty much back to normal. We have I think one more phase, but that last phase is like for everything to be completely back to normal. No, with no hindrances or no, you know, Rona stuff. So today they did stage 3, and so now they did stage 3. We can able to play baseball. Everybody can be there. So I'm super pumped. So we play baseball this weekend. We have at least 4 games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, maybe more if the boys do well. But we're going to have our work cut out for us. We're playing the top 4th and the 8th team in the state. So, and this was on last year's. I know, it is awesome. And this is off of last year's I guess because we haven't played any baseball, so this is off of last year's. Support real baseball players. You got that right, Donnie. What's up, Reese? I heard Major League Baseball might be coming back based on what Paul Manfred said or whatever his name is. But he said he's 100% for sure. Then I haven't heard anything back from that. That was just his statement with no proof in the pudding. So who knows? But we were ranked in the top. I think we were ranked like 58th in the state of travel teams or something. And I mean, I don't know what that is, but we were one of the better teams, and we're playing against two of the best this weekend. So that's pretty exciting. Last year we were like 32-7 for the entire season. So we had a pretty successful. We played tough teams. We didn't play a bunch of easy walk in the park teams. We played against some of the top teams last year. But it'll be interesting to see how we do, even though it's going to be a complete crapshoot since none of the kids have really played any games. We've only just started practicing in the last 3 weeks, and two of those practices we got rained out. So we only had I think 5 practices total, maybe 6 total. So it's been not very much. Yeah, I'll take any baseball too. 100% agree. My son, he plays mostly right field or left field. He plays a lot of third base, and he pitches. So, because they're at that age now where they're still moving them around a little bit more. There's some kids who don't get moved around at all. They're almost always in their 1 or 2 positions. But generally speaking, all of them probably play, I would say, 2 to 3 positions pretty well. Obviously, if I was a coach, I would probably let the kids practice more different positions so they can do well. But yeah, sometimes it's tough when you just tell a kid out of the blue, hey, you're going to go play second. They never really played second. They played second like 4 years ago when they were like 5 or 6, which obviously is nothing, or 7. And now they're 11 going on 12. And so it's a different animal because, it's coming out, the game's a lot faster. Yeah, to see where they excel for sure, man. I mean, I don't know if you have kids. I think you do, Reese, and I think you said you have a son, and I don't know how old he is or whatever, and I could be wrong. I mean, sometimes people's personal lives on YouTube, if it's not consistent, I start forgetting who has what children and who has or no children and what type of kids and all that. So please forgive me. I mean, I just want him to play. That's my main thing. I just want him to have the opportunity to keep playing. So I he's not the best kid on the team, but he definitely isn't the worst. It is a travel baseball team, so he has to try out. It's the main one here in our town. Usually we have anywhere between the high 20s to the mid 30, almost 40-ish kids try out every year. So it's not like, well, they just grab 11 kids. The first 11 kids sign up. They have to have tryouts. So it's been pretty cool to watch him. He's been trying out for the team since he was 8. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He'll be 12 this year. So 5 years in a row, I'm assuming he'll be making it. So that's always fun to see because it's a feeder. The team here in town is a feeder team into the high school. So the high school coaches kind of partake in the process. And that way the kids who will know, they will learn the high school way, the way the high school coach teaches and trains and manages. That way, when they get to high school, they can just keep playing that way. They won't have to relearn. So it's a feeder team, feeder system set up that way, which I think is great. There's always politics in small towns, and so there's a lot of politics and a lot about who you are and what's your last name. When you're in a bigger city, you have a lot more options. You don't have to worry about that as much. But it sucks when you're in small towns, and I'm not from this town, and so you're having to compete with people and names and popularity contests sometimes when you really shouldn't have to do that. So it kind of sucks. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what rec ball's for, and I don't have any problem with rec ball. And I think it's great, but I want, if you want your kid to be, I agree, yeah, definitely. I got into some altercations back in the day when I used to coach, helping out with who now is our head coach for our travel ball team, who's a great guy, wonderful man. He's a wonderful to my son. Like, just, I love him. He's such a solid dude. But him and I coached for a year together, and I would get in altercations with the following team. They would like literally tell me, sounds like the third base coach, and they would tell me to quit sending our kids in to score because that wasn't right. We were already winning. I'm like, this is an unlimited runs league. So once you hit a certain inning, you can have as many runs as you want. So I'm like, if we have a really bad inning, we're only winning by 2 or 3, and then this team ends up scoring like 9 runs on us, then we're going to end up losing. So I'm like, I'm going to have our kids keep running and scoring. If you can't catch the ball, you can't throw the ball, you can't get an out, that's not our fault. And man, I had so many people get mad at me. And this one dad said it was my fault for this one little boy who got hit in the nuts with the ball as the catcher. That was my fault because I sent a kid home. And he couldn't catch the ball when the ball was thrown from second base to home. He missed the ball, and the ball hit him in the nuts. And it sucked. It's awful. But he was trying to put that on me like I was the fault that this little boy got hit in the nuts because he didn't catch the ball because I sent a kid in to score. I mean, that's what you're dealing with. To go back to what you're saying, Reese, is everybody gets a participation trophy. Everybody wins. Everybody gets to play. And it's just like, it's nonsense. But, you know, it is what it is. Hey, what up, Steve? Sorry, I didn't recognize some of the people popped in. I apologize. Reese and Steve and Donnie was in here a moment ago, so that's good, man. I appreciate you all popping in. So anyway, so that's some of the silly stuff you have to deal with. Oh, I know for sure. So last year, my son, there's a travel basketball team, and it started out as being like just one team, and you had to make that team. And my son made that team like 2 years in a row. And then the second year they did it, they had a second team. So there was 2 teams. He still made the top team. And then last year they had 3 teams because everybody thinks their kid deserves to be on the top team and no one can be told. Well, there's only one travel team. If not, you don't make that team. You have the Y, youth league or whatever. So then we had 3 teams, and then they all had to try out. And then each kid pretty much went to one of the 3 teams. And then we had daddy ball, which again, if you're not a parent, you don't know what this might be called, or you may understand it intellectually. But daddy ball is when your kid's not good enough, but you want to be the coach. So that way your kid gets on the top team and your kid gets to do the playing, and they take the spot of a kid who deserves to be on there based on their skill level. But because you're in the good old boys club, the other kids, unless they're just like, phenomenal and they have to be on the team because they're so good, ends up getting the boot. So the kids who aren't as good, daddies, can all be on the team together, make sure their kids play. So unfortunately, my son, first time experience, like you said, what it's like to be, to lose. It was the first time he ever lost an opportunity to play on the top tier team because we had daddy ball going on here. And it's just the reality of it. It sucks and I hate it. But, if I make too big of a deal about it and too big of a stink, it only affects him, because they can't do nothing to me. They can't hurt me. So they hurt me through my son by not letting him, keeping him off certain teams or not letting him play, letting him ride the bench, let other kids who are subpar compared to him get more playing time. So I just have to bite my tongue and just suck it up or else, he gets punished because they can't get to me. So it sucks. But it's a part about being an adult. Sometimes you just gotta swallow your pride because if not, it's going to be bananas. I want to check out the Gallows. Like I said, I got 2 copies of it now. I have to check it out. I can't wait. Oh, yeah. I mean, and I'm one of those parents. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm the first one to say if my kid's not cutting it, then they should have to sit on the bench or lose playing time or have to have a stern talking to by the coach. Like, I'm not this kind of parent who just thinks my kid's the best thing ever and that he doesn't do anything wrong and that he's like, the next Derek Jeter or anything like that. Like, I don't think that, or the next Stephon Curry or whatever. Like, I'm not that guy, but what I can do is look objectively and see the situation as my kid's getting screwed because his last name is not such and such last name, or because his dad does not have such and such title in this town, or that their dad's not popular, or their their kid brother is really good at such and such sport, and to make sure that parent stays happy and lets that kid keep playing in town, then we got to make sure his younger siblings get all the same benefits, even though they might suck. They got to keep them all travel teams or making all the mom and dads happy because they don't want to take their kids and leave. Even though that one or two kids aren't as good as the main one, they have to keep them all happy. So it's just like I said, politics, dude. Oh, for sure, dude. Oh, yeah, man, 100%. I remember one time I was in a church league like 15 years ago at my old church, and I literally was just doing it for kicks and giggles, for fun with some guys from my small group or church. So they're like, hey, you want to play some softball, some church softball league? I'm like, oh, that's awesome. We're going to be playing against other churches, other small groups or youth group or adult, Bible study groups. I'm like, oh, that's great. And, it says my connection's kind of wonky. I don't know. See, but can you all hear me? There we go. I guess it's back. So I show up and I'm like, I'm all like, put me in, coach. Like, I got my glove and I'm so excited to play. And then people are like, these adults are getting all bent out of shape because they're striking out or they didn't make a good play. And other players on the team are giving each other a hard time and they're talking smack to the other teams. And I'm like, what? And people are like, losing, they're cool and language is kind of flying around. And I'm like, isn't this a church softball league? I mean, does anybody have money on this? Are we winning money here? Are we going to win something? Or are we just playing for kicks and giggles? Oh, I'm sure there is, dude. I'm sure there is. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I didn't even want to play the church basketball league after I saw the baseball because I'm halfway decent at baseball. But 5'7", dude. And then being like, probably 80 pounds overweight, there ain't no way I want to play basketball. I'll end up getting smoked. So they take it way more serious. But the baseball was fine, or softball was fine, but people just like take it way too serious. Like they make everything's personal. And I'm like, you got money on this game? Like, what's going to happen here? We winning trophies? It's like, what? So it's kind of just silly, but it happens. So I was really surprised by that. So I should say I'm not surprised by the things now my son's going through with some of the shenanigans. But, like I said, you just got to deal with it. If you don't deal with it, then your kid doesn't benefit. So I got to just – it's hard for me, as you all probably know, the ones that are watching know, it's hard for me to keep my mouth shut and to shut up. Because I'm so strong-willed and opinionated, and I don't shriek with a counter argument or a counter perspective, And so when I have to like shut up, it's very difficult. It's I shouldn't let it bother me as much as I do because really it turns into a pride thing, but I do. I know it's shocking, isn't it, Steve? I mean, that's the thing. You have a strong personality, and sometimes people put that as you're being a jerk because you're strong. You have a strong personality and you stick to your guns and you share your viewpoints. They may not be popular or whatever, or it may not be what everybody else is. It might be what other people are thinking, but they're never going to say it. So it's always like you're like that lone guy on that branch by yourself. But I don't buy it. It doesn't bother me. But so many people don't come. What I have a problem with it, so many people feel the same way, but they don't ever, jump in and say, yeah, I agree. It's like they tell you privately they agree with you, but they don't say it in front of others in public because they don't want to be associated with that viewpoint or that perspective or whatever you might want to call it. So it's always been difficult for me sometimes because I'll be that guy. I've always been that guy since probably middle school, but definitely high school. I don't care what other people think about me. And I know I've told this before. I know I mentioned this before on my channel, but I really don't. I don't want to necessarily be somebody that everybody hates. Neither. I mean, everybody wants to be liked. Don't get me wrong. But if people don't like me because of my viewpoints or my perspectives or how I come at certain things, and that's the reason why they don't like me, then I don't care. That part I don't care. But if it's like a personality thing, they don't like me because of some deep held convictions or whatever, and they think I'm some kind of like scumbag. That obviously is bothersome, I guess. But they don't like me because I just said something they don't like. I don't care about that. I'm like, whatever. No, I never saw that, Reese. That's awesome, dude. Never see that'd be cool. Scream Jesus. Oh yeah. Nope, no throwing rocks, dude. I only throw McDonald's cocktails at people. That's what I do. Yeah, maybe I could talk my son into doing that this weekend. If he gets a hit, I just go, Luca. If you get a hit, just go, Jesus, yeah, and then to take off running. Or if you score, slide across the base, jump up and say Jesus. It'd be awesome. Man, that would be so cool. That'd be an awesome picture to get, man. Or a video. So I'm pumped about that. I'm about to say that. He'll be like, Dad, I'm not gonna do that. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I'm like, dude, you know how memorable that would be? And then maybe you'll just you'll just get super hot. Remember back in the day on Nintendo, NBA Jam? It's like, you're on fire. He's on fire. And they're like shooting and just swishing or like slam dunking. And maybe that'll be happy. You're like, Jesus. And then you're like, hallelujah in the name and all this stuff. And then all these you just start hitting and stealing. Only bases, not stealing property or things. And scoring, that'd be awesome. Yeah, dude, NBA Jam, dude, that was my jam, pun intended. Yeah. So, yeah. Man, I loved NBA Jam. I loved Tecmo Super Bowl. On Nintendo. Those are my two of my games. I can think I loved Metroid. Man, I love that game. I loved Kid Icarus. So yeah, man. I'm trying to think of like some other things on Nintendo. I mean, there was Contra. I really like Super Mario Brothers Part 2 is my favorite. I feel like that one gets kind of crapped on. It's like 1 and 3 is the most popular, but I always like 2. I thought 2 was fun. So, anyways, but yeah. Yeah, dude, that Banks video was awesome, man. I hope you enjoyed my ridiculous comments. I was like, I'm sure I'm obviously joking, but I was sitting there thinking like, everybody says nice Banks cards or that's a really cool, whatever, 62 Banks or whatever. And I could have done that too, but I was like, I'm going to spice it up a bit. So hopefully you appreciate it. Oh yeah, man. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Yeah, dude, that was legit. Baseball Stars, Tecmo Bowl, yeah. Kid Icarus, yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, that Banks run was too sweet. Just too sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I liked, I'm trying to think of, I've got plenty of Nintendo games I can think of. I like Bubble Bobbles, another one I loved. Dig Dug, I liked Paperboy, I like Spy Hunter. So, yeah. Yeah, sometimes I think people might think like I'm being a jerk. There's been times I've been like it comes across in Bob's videos. For people who've never come to my channel, Bob has a bigger following than me. And so a lot of those guys don't know who I am. And so, Double Dribble, man. I remember Double Dribble. Oh, I thought you said, yeah, with the dinosaurs, yes. But I like Double Dribble too, which is funny. I thought I said, you said dinosaurs bobble, and I thought you said Double Dribble. But like sometimes I'll be like really like a jerk, a jag-off, if you will, on Bob's comments. Because Bob and I are like brothers at this point. Like I'm probably going back to his house in a couple weeks and spending like 4 or 5 days in Pittsburgh. I'm going to take a trip and go. So that means, Reese, you should come and visit us in Pittsburgh, dude. I know you're in Pennsylvania. You need to come and meet us in Pittsburgh. So, Bob will tell me sometimes, he's like, dude, there's some guys that will message me privately and be like, You know that zombie collector guy, he's being a real jerk to you on your comments. Did you read that? Or they'll come back and say, hey, man, you don't got to be such a jerk. Like, the guy's just showing off whatever, his Pirates cards. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's a scumbag. His cards suck. The Pirates suck. And it's so funny because they don't know that I'm obviously friends with Bob. And I'm obviously kidding. You know, sometimes Bob will tell me, like, he'll do a care package for me. And he'll, like, throw the cards away at, like, this is junk. This is junk. And people are like, oh, my gosh. But, you know, we talk about it all the time. It's fun. Man, I love Bubble Bob back in the day. Yes, Bob Lewis is hilarious. Double dribbles where it's at. I even liked, remember back in the day, you could be like, I think it was Tecmo Hockey. Maybe, I don't know if it was called Tecmo Hockey. It might have been called something else. But you throw your gloves down and you start fighting in the hockey game. It wasn't Techno Hockey. It was something else. I forgot what the hockey was called. Maybe somebody will remember the hockey name. But I was like fighting in that. Oh my gosh. Oh, another couple of games I loved playing was Aladdin. Blades of Steel. That's it. Blades of Steel. Yes. I loved Blades of Steel because they're just like, you're like pop, 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 pop. And they're just like pop, pop, pop. Yeah, I loved it. But I liked Aladdin because they played the actual music from it, and I just loved it because they kind of follow the story. And I love it. Aladdin came out when I was like in like middle school, and it was like a huge deal when I was a kid. And then I liked playing Jurassic Park. I love the Jurassic Park game. That was another really fun one. Really enjoyed Jurassic Park. And I remember when I beat it for the first time, and then they have the T-Rex like roaring, and the signs coming down, and it has like, yeah, you won. I remember like just so excited when I played that. Oh man, what was on Super Nintendo? My brother had a Super Nintendo. When the Super Nintendo came out, I got a Sega Genesis 16, and I love the Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis I probably like more than the Nintendo, actually. I know that might be sacrilegious in some circles, but I really love Sega Genesis. Yeah, I loved Aladdin, dude. Aladdin was, man, my dad, I probably should, Altered Beast, man, I love that game. And you keep getting like those little balls float. You always grab some balls, and they make you bigger and stronger as you grab the balls. Is it an allegory for what? I don't know, but yes. Yeah, Earl Weaver baseball. Of all people, you picked Earl Weaver. Of all the baseball players, even managers, they picked Earl Weaver. That just tells you where video games was at the time, dude. Oh, man, I remember Contra. Up, down, left, right. A, B, select, start. Boom. 30 lives. 30 lives out of the game, which is what you need to beat that game. I remember I used to get so mad in my mom and dad's basement, I'd be like almost crying because I couldn't beat that game. I get so far on just 3 lives before you ever found out about the whole up, down thing. That cheat code, I was like so mad because I get like all the way to almost the end, and I only have like 1 life left, and I would get killed like within like 10 seconds, and I'd be like, no! And I take my controller and I throw it on the ground. Throw it on the ground. And that's what I would do. Oh, yeah, Tony La Russa, yeah. Yeah, I like the Tony La Russa game. I actually remember that, yes. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't play video games either. I have a PS3 and a PS4, and my son plays them. Well, the PS4 he plays because he plays Call of Duty and Fortnite and Call of Duty World War II and Modern Warfare and something called like Axis or Excel or something. Axel, I don't know, but I have an addictive personality. So if I start playing video games, like you would never see me again. I would just like become pasty white. My hair would turn like towhead, like blondish white. I have red eyes. I become pretty much like an albino, more than I already am now. Oh, yeah, my son loved Minecraft back in the day. That was like the gateway. That was the gateway game. Was Minecraft? Like he was playing Minecraft. And I actually kind of liked it because it was like you had to think in the strategy, you're like building, you're creating. It's kind of a good. I like that. I was like, you know what? Obviously, this is a video game, but at least he's, using his head. He's using his brain. He has to make potions and create stuff. And then, of course, that lasted a couple years. And then when the Fortnite was introduced, it was over. It was over. At that point, that ship sailed, dude. I played Madden like crazy before it was a profession. No kidding, dude. No kidding. It's like a profession now, that's for sure. You're not kidding there. See, I've never been a big football fan, so even when I was younger, I had Tecmo Super Bowl, but that just was so much fun being Bo Jackson. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. But that's like the only football game I ever played. And then when it got, more and more sophisticated, I never really cared for football. So Madden never did anything for me. It never tickled my fancy, so to speak. I mean, I understand why people like it. Don't get me wrong. It's a fun game for sure. It is not my thing. Oh my gosh, yes, Zelda. And then Zelda's the first one. The second one was Link. Oh my gosh, dude. I remember those cartridges being gold. That was legit. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put on some music here. Let's put it on here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll put on some tunes. All right, here we go. I'll set the mood here for us. Turn it down. All right, here we go. Man, when I hear that music, it takes me back for real my childhood. I almost want to buy like one of those Nintendo or like video game consoles where you could buy that you can play all different kinds of games. I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't. It sounds like they're getting closer and closer, but I mean, what they were supposed to already be practicing now to start playing it like 4th of July weekend or something. I don't see how they can do it. I mean, we got 2 weeks left of June, and then we're in July. I don't see how it can be done. And they're talking about 70 or 80 games or whatever. I just don't see how it can be done. I mean, I want it to be. Trust me, I want it to happen, but what do you all think? Do you all think it's going to happen? Do you think we're going to have a season? Oh, Huey Lewis in the news. Yeah, I remember that. I introduced my son to all 3 Back to the Future movies last week, and he watched all 3 of them. He loved it. He was like, Dad, can we watch the next one? Okay. Dad, can we watch the next one? That was awesome. I can't believe I waited this long to watch all that. I'm like, dude, I don't let you watch crappy movies. I know good movies. So now, I mean, you should trust me by now. I've introduced him to so many 80s movies, and he loves them all. And some 90s movies. But, man, he loves my 80s movies. And I'm like, I'm telling you, son, I'm never going to steer you wrong. I don't think I've ever let him watch a movie and he goes, yeah, that would suck, Dad. Yeah, I think so, too, about they'll hit the sport hard. But they're taking their sweet time, though, honestly. I don't know what they're waiting for. Well, I know what they're waiting for. They're waiting for more money. That's what they're waiting for. McFly, are you there, McFly? Think, McFly, think. I know, Biff. I know. And when you're right, Biff. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Now listen to Zero Wing. I turn it down. It's so loud. I don't know. But yeah, I love Back to the Future. That's by far one of my favorites. I introduced Luke in Indiana Jones movies. He loved the Indiana Jones. Back to the Future. Goonies. Monster Squad. What else? Monster Squad, Goonies. The Never-Ending Story. Of course, The Never-Ending Story, that has to be one. I introduced him to 80s wrestling, of course. I'm trying to think of what else. Those are the ones I can think off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more. Those are some of the. Oh yeah, I introduced him to Little Monsters, but I think he might have been a little bit too young to really appreciate it. I mean, I feel like he's at the perfect age now, but I think when I introduced it to him, he was like 7 or 8, and I think it could have been a little bit scary for him, which that may or may not be true. But the big thing was, I think it was just a lot of the humor was over his head, like when Howie Mandel's character is like peeing in the apple juice, which is fantastic. A little kid's probably like, "What? I don't get it." Like, is a monster doing what with the bottle? And then the next day, the kid's drinking the apple juice. He's like, "Oh, it tastes like pee." Like, my son's like, "I don't get it." Now he'd be like, But back then, I introduced him to Jurassic Park, but he was when I introduced it to him, he was actually a little bit scared. And so I don't know about now. I mean, probably he's okay, but he was okay until the T-Rex grabs the lawyer and rips him apart and eats him, and after he tries to get on the crapper and tries to hide from him, which is probably the scariest scene in the whole movie, actually. And after that, he was like, "I'm good. Like, Dad, can you turn it off?" So, yeah. I love Ferris Bueller, but again, that's the kind of movie I think he probably needs to be middle school age to really appreciate, because it's more high school shenanigans, and he's just now going to hit 6th grade. So I feel like there's a little bit too much of a gap for him to really appreciate it. But it'll definitely be introduced. I got it right over there. So that's going to be on. That's on the docket. Don't fret. What? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing out on. I've introduced him to. I'm sure there is plenty. He wants to watch a lot of the horror movies, and I won't let him do that. I'm like, no. Oh yeah, I remember the TV show Dinosaurs. Gotta love me. Gotta love me. Gotta love me. The little baby dinosaur. It was pretty much like the Flintstones, except with dinosaurs. I mean, that's essentially what it was. So, yeah. Now, my question for you all, most of you all probably too young for this, because I think most of you all probably like maybe your mid-30s at the oldest. So maybe some of you all will remember this. But in the 80s, maybe in the 90s too, early 90s, there was a horror anthology show, I believe it was on TNT, called Monster Vision. Does anybody remember the TV show Monster Vision? It had these like creepy, like slug-looking like adults, and they all have they're like cyclopses, and they're sitting on the couch eating popcorn. They're like staring at the TV, and it's like Monster Vision. And I remember watching that. I love that show, but I mean, you never can find it anymore. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Oh, you're 38, Steve. Okay, so yeah, you're in the ballpark with me. So, but yeah. If you want to watch, it has a really cool opening. If you ever want to watch it on YouTube. Just check it out. It has a very, very 90s, unique vibe to it for sure. just to watch the trailer. That's the introduction, the intro. Oh yeah, Attack of the. Oh dude, I love George Clooney's first movie, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And here goes the theme song: Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. So yes, I remember Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. But yeah, that was George Clooney's first movie. Hold on, I'll be right back. There's like a huge, I think, moth on my couch. I want to get it before it flies around my house. 1 second, please. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Tomatoes. Thank you. Hey, what up, Jesse? Yeah, there was like a moth that was like this big. There was a couch. And I didn't want to wake up in the middle of the night and it's trying to kill me. So it was like, it's time for me to grab the moth and throw it in the garbage. It looked like Mothra from Godzilla. Jesse is here, dude. Jesse Bieber. Justin Bieber's stepdad is here. It's awesome. You can't go wrong with Justin Bieber's stepdad. Now this is 10-10. I never heard of this game before. TIN 10-10. I'm in my basement with all the corpses. No, I just didn't want to turn the light on. I wanted to set the mood for tonight. You know, it's all about setting the ambiance for all my fans out there. But yeah. I don't know. Somebody trying to get a hold of me or not. It looks like my phone's like beeping over there. I put my phone on the hook, so. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Do you remember Watership Down? No, I don't know. I don't know about that. Watership Down. I never heard of it. Hey, Reese is back. It's time to party. Party. Reese is like the nicest guy. I got to tell you. If you call Reese on the phone and he misses your call, he sends you back a text to explain to you why he didn't take your call. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to do all that. But he gives you like a 3-page double-spaced report in New Times Roman why he missed your call. Like it's not that necessary. You know, life happens. You may just look at your phone and be like, I don't want to talk to that jagoff Jason. Screw that guy. But he like responds back with like, I'm so sorry. I missed your call. You know, I was helping a old lady across the street. And then I decided to like, you know, take a rocket ship up to the Mars. And then I helped the penguins of the Antarctic. And so I'm really busy right now. That's why I missed your call. And I'm like, dude, it's not necessary. Yeah, Steve. Now that's a different story. Screw that guy. How dare you not take my call? I'm more important than whatever you're doing at work. Just remember that. Tell that to your boss, or if I need a call, tell your boss that. That's fine. So I'll be more than happy to tell your boss, like, hey, boss man, when I call, Steve answers. It better not ring more than one time, actually. It better ring one time. As soon as that ring comes through, Steve picks up just like that. If that doesn't happen, I'm going to come down to Nebraska? I'm going to come down to Nebraska and I'm going to stomp a mud hole in you. And then that should fix the problem, Steve. I'm just saying. You should say, it's not about working, it's about being woke. I'm woking over here. I'm so woke, I'm broke. So that's why I got to take all your stuff. About 3:30. Yeah, you got to pencil me in tomorrow. Yeah, I think my son's baseball games are over with about that time. So maybe on my way home from the baseball field, I can give you a ring. We'll try to work out. Or just give me a call, man. You know your schedule better than me. Call me because I almost always will take a call unless I'm in the middle of watching my son's game. Almost any other scenario, I'll take the call. So I work from home, so usually I can take a call at even home during the workday. So, yeah, my job was telling me this week, I guess we're still technically working. I mean, I'm working tomorrow. But they were saying something like, we may not even go back until the start of next year. It's like shocking. I'm like, what? But apparently that might be a thing. Yeah, I know, Reese, but you don't got to respond like telling me your personal business. You can just be like, sorry, I missed the call, dude. Busy. I'll give you a call back later. I'll catch you later. Or stop calling me. I don't want to talk to you, you schmuck. And I'll be like, oh, okay, that's how Reese is going to play it? Shoot. Now, Reese, you just got on my radar. You're next. After I do all my talking about baseball collector, you're next. I'm going to be like, Reese, ND Card Ranger, you're next on the list, dude. I'm going to go down my list like evil Santa Claus and try to take you off. I know, dude. You need to come to Indiana, dude, and we can watch a Notre Dame game together. We need to go watch some Notre Dame. That's even better. If you told me you were taking a dump, that'd be hilarious. I'd be like, dude, I got blown off by Reese because he was taking a dump. Apparently, every time I call. Must be the sake. Yeah. I'm not a big, I personally am not a big contest giveaway guy. And I have my own personal reasons for it. And I'm not saying this about you or anybody who does it, but a lot of what I've seen, at least at the beginning, it's always about trying to get more subscribers, and it's always about trying to get more people to come to your channel, and they try to woo you in by giving you stuff. And then a lot of times that's what it turns into. It's more about like, what can people get off of you for your contests and things? But at this point, it's just a part of being on YouTube. I just don't really care. I stopped participating in it for like, I would say at least a year, if not longer, because I just got so over it. Because there are sometimes in the community like 10 contests going on at any given time, and I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. But it is what it is, man. People do it. If it makes you happy, do it. If you have money or things to give away, do it. Who cares what I think? I'm just some bitter old dude sitting around in my house holding on to my God and my religion and my shotguns and my water bottles. And they're probably just like, look at that old stony creature from the Black Lagoon. He needs to be hugged. Yeah, baby, go Irish, baby, go Irish. Bruce Pritchard. Hey, what's up, Gary? The Gary V brand. Oh, Gary V brand. Watch out now. Oh, yeah, the giveaway, dude. The giveaway and the giveaways and the contest. That's like, well, they usually go hand in hand. But those things are crazy, man. It's just like right now there's like 4 or 5 going on. And they're all great guys. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying anything negative about it, but it just turns into like everybody and their grandma doing giveaways and contests and all this. I'm like, in some people's videos, that's all they do. They just do contest response videos. It's like they don't even have any content themselves. They're just like, I did 16 videos in the last 2 weeks, and all of them were contest responses. So it just gets ridiculous. Yeah, baby, a young Bruce Willis. I'll take that. Now, I like the shout-out videos. I need to do a shout-out video. I talked about doing one a while back, but I don't know if I did. I need to sit down. That's a good idea. Just do like a true shout-out video. That'd be fun. So I need to work on that. Yeah, man. Where are you at, Gary? What town are you in? Like what city? I need to give you my phone number, dude. I need to give you my number. If you could go onto my Yokozuna, yeah, give me a Yokozuna card. But my email address, if you want me, I'll give it to you. And you can email me your contact info. That way we can talk via text or chat on the phone. If you're a person who talks on the phone, some people aren't. Yeah, I do. I love my sumo cards. But my email address is Japan_missionary@yahoo.com. So if you want to email me your phone number or whatever, we can like exchange information. And if you're going to be going, I mean, my main thing is, oh yeah, dude. So with Texas, that's going to be probably a pretty good turnout. Then you might have a lot of dealers. That'd be awesome. Yeah, that just means you loved them, dude. That just means you loved them. How do you say hello in Japanese? Oh, this is really a tough one, but I'm gonna try my best. Gary, okay. I'm not gonna. All right, let me see here. Hold on. I think I can write it down. Shockingly, I actually have a pen and a paper in front of me. Hold on. I'll at Gmail. Okay. All right, cool. And then to answer your question, Steve, it is for hello in the afternoon time. It's konnichiwa. 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 In the morning, it's easy because it's Ohio, just like the state. It's not spelled the same, but it doesn't matter about the spelling. Ohio, and more formal is Ohio gozaimasu. And in the winter, in the nighttime, in the evening, it's konbaiwa. CONBANWA. Konbaiwa. So yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, I never really collected a lot of wrestling cards. I wish I did back in the 80s. I probably liked wrestling more than I liked baseball in the 80s, quite frankly. But I don't know. My dad just only did baseball, and so I did too. Oh, yeah, dude. Saturday Night Main Event, man. I love that. Yes, I completely agree. Yeah. But yeah, I'll reach out to you via email, and I'll give you my contact info, Gary. And but yeah, the most things I'm looking for is like all the Japanese ball players. If you find any kind of inserts or numbered cards, obviously autographs or relics or rookie cards, I'm looking for that. Obviously graded stuff. But don't spend any big money or don't make any surprise purchases. Just ask me if I have it. Because more than likely I won't have a lot of it because, there's so much of it. So just, that. I mean, Scott Rowland, aside from like Darvish and Ichiro and all the Japanese guys like Otani, Scott Rowland, Barry Larkin, Don Mattingly, those are some big ones for me also. Greg Maddux, I'm a huge fan of. So anytime you can find numbered, short prints, inserts, relic or autograph cards, rookie cards, graded stuff. I mean, that's a lot of what I look for. Any kind of those like rookie cards that are graded from like the 80s and 90s. Christian Yelich. Don't forget, Bob Backlund, Trish Stratus. Oh yeah, dude. Too sweet. I watch a lot of AEW right now. Watch lots of NWA. I'm starting to watch some Impact. I don't really like WWE. I watch a little bit on SmackDown on Fridays, but I like mostly the AEW. AEW, man, on YouTube, man, they show you all the matches. They might not show you the entire like 16-minute match or 20-minute match, but they'll show you like between 3 to 8 minutes of the match usually, and those are the best parts. Is the very end was the most going on. I love it. Randy Orton, the Legend Killer. Yeah, I like Orton. I don't like him as much as a lot of people do. I don't put him over like a lot of other people, but I do like him. I'm trying to think of like wrestlers I like on SmackDown or like wrestlers that are on the roster at WWE. I like Rey Mysterio Jr. I like Asuka. I really like Asuka. She's awesome. I like Braun Strowman. I like Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler. I like Otis. I'm trying to think. Who else is over there I like? I wish Shinsuke Nakamura I like. I wish they used him in a better way. I like Sheamus. Who else? Those are some of the main ones I can think off the top of my head. I'm not a big fan of some of the bigger names like AJ Styles. I really don't care about. I don't really care that much about Brian, whatever his name is, the guy who keeps going, yes, yes. That guy I don't really care about. Another big one that people like, I don't like King Corbin. Not a big fan of him. I'm not a big fan of the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. I know a lot of people like him, but I'm just kind of like, it's a little bit hokey. Oh, man, Tatanka? Oh, is it Tatanka? Yeah, dude. I love Tatanka. Man, you can't get away with that anymore. Lord have mercy. Taka Minichi Nuku? Hold on, wait, what? Michi Nuku. Obviously, that's a Japanese guy. I don't know Taka Michi Nuku. Yeah, I don't know that guy. I love Tatanka, but you can't get away with Tatanka anymore. Even if the guy's an Indian and he's hopping around and doing his hooting and hollering and war chants and dancing around, people lose their mind. They think that's racism and cultural appropriation. Even if the dude's 100% Indian, they'd be like losing their minds. But I remember Tatanka, he would do that like tomahawk chop to the head, and then he'd do like a war dance around the person. Oh man, it was awesome. Oh, I do kind of remember him tagging up with Funaki now that you said that. That's true. I wish they used him more than they did. I really wish they would have used him more. I mean, he's sort of, I don't know if you've seen him, but I watched, he popped in about, I don't know, 5 years ago or maybe a little longer. But he showed up in a Royal Rumble in like maybe 2015 or 16. He looked incredible. He was in incredible shape then. I mean, he looked almost as good as he did back in 1990 or 89 or whatever he was in. It was unbelievable. He was so good. Oh, what's up, Joel? Yeah, Chief Jay Strombo. Yes, dude, I remember him. Man, he was a great wrestler, too. Came out in the big headdress. That was awesome. You know a wrestler that no one ever talks about anymore? And I always thought he was awesome. I liked him a lot. Look at my hair. It's getting wild. I really liked was Hillbilly Jim. I loved Hillbilly Jim, dude. I thought Hillbilly Jim was so cool, dude. Big old redneck with his overalls. He always had the one overall down. He had one button and one was off, like unbuckled or whatever. But he was always a huge dude. He was probably like 6'5", 6'6" at least. At least he looked that big. I don't know if he really was. I mean, he looked like a monster. I mean, he was just as big as Hulk Hogan. I think they were like buddies, but man. The Nasty Bros, yeah, dude. Was it what's it? Hobbs and Slat? No, was it Hobbs and what's the other guy's name? Brian Hobbs or Hobbs and Knobs or something. I can't remember, but yeah. I like Sergeant Slaughter, man. When he turned heel, oh, I was like upset as a kid. I'm like, how did Sergeant Slaughter become like anti-American? Oh my gosh, that was Brian Hobbs. Okay. You showed me a memorial of Mr. Who's that guy? Who's that? I don't know that guy. Ravish and Rick Rude. I like Greg the Hammer Valentine. That was another guy that I liked watching. But like I've said this before, my three main guys are Andre the Giant, number one. Number two, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And number three, Jake the Snake Roberts. Those are my three wrestlers when I was growing up, man. Ouch, my ear. Something on my ear, man? Did I get like attacked by something? I feel like it's bleeding. There you go, dude. Oh, Billy Gunn. Yeah, dude, Billy Gunn, man. He's one of their trainers at AEW. He wrestles a lot, actually. So yeah, I like Billy Gunn. He's hilarious, dude. He's in better shape than he was back when he's in D-Generation X. I mean, he was in excellent shape back then, and he's in better shape now. He looks huge. When he's like 6'3" or 4, I guess. Man, when he gets in the ring, he looks like a monster. He's just like there's nothing but the straight up muscle. Oh man, Junkyard Dog. Oh yeah. I'll check it out, dude. Can I click on this? Oh no, I don't want to leave the site. Never mind. It's telling me I have to leave the site. So, oh yeah, Buff Bagwell. I like Owen Hart. I didn't like him as much as everybody else. Obviously, it was awful that he passed away. That goes without saying. I like his brother better, Bret the Hitman Hart. I like the Heartbreak Kid for sure. Shawn Michaels. It's telling me I'm gonna leave the group, or it's gonna tell me I'm gonna leave. If I click on it, right click and open a new tab. Open link and new tab. Let's see if it's gonna let me do it. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. It's like kick. It's not showing up with anything. There it is. I'm back. Vicious and delicious. What? All right. But all right, guys. I'll check it out later. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. It's 11 o'clock at night, guys. I might pop back on tomorrow over the weekend. I appreciate you all hanging out. But yeah, it was good seeing everybody, man, as always. You all take care, and I'll see you soon. Peace out, Girl Scouts.